Welcome! In this series of videos, we will cover the design and implementation of a project, from initial design through coding and development to testing, using the PowerBasic Windows compiler. Today we will continue enhancing our creation of a dashboard application using the PowerBasic Windows compiler and RMChart. This was our project dashboard at the end of the last video. We have two pie charts and a line chart with two sets of data. The first pie chart and the line chart at the bottom of the dialog are both updated dynamically every 3 seconds. What we're going to do today is to look at additional features of RMChart to allow us to put custom objects on the screen. So let's have a look at the code. Within the PowerBasic code, all the chart drawing routines are in one subroutine, the Do the Chart subroutine. In here are all the code commands to actually draw our pie charts and our line charts on the screen. This code has been automatically generated for you using the RMChart Designer. You can use the RMChart Designer to design your chart interactively, and then once you have completed your design, you can then create the source code by going to the File menu and clicking on the Get Source button. We have created 3 regions upon this chart, region 1, 2 and 3. Each region designates one of the charts on this chart control. However, there are other features within RMChart that are very useful. If we have a look further down the Control tab, you will see there are actually 30 custom object settings. You can use these custom object settings to display some custom object on your chart control. Say for example we wanted a piece of text appearing somewhere on the chart. All we need to do is to go to the first custom object and pick Text. We can then click Edit Object, and it allows us to set the location and the text. We can set the position on screen in pixels, and that would put the word Some Text on the screen. Let's make the text a little bigger. We can now set a background for the text, and we can change the colour of that background. The box isn't quite big enough for a text, so we'll set it slightly larger. And we can make our text bold to make it stand out. Now that we have the text on the screen, we can do further changes to it. We can make it semi-transparent, using a transparency factor. And there we have some custom text sitting on our first chart. We can quite easily move this around the screen by amending the coordinate positions for the left and the top. Should you wish a grid on the screen, you can quite easily position that. So what else can we do apart from text? Let's say we want to position a particular image on the screen. This could perhaps be a logo of your organisation. We can select Image, and we can browse to the location of where that image actually sits. Let's pick the dashboard JPEG. And we'll set that at some point on the screen. And there is our image on the screen. You can make it larger or smaller. Another option you have is to place a polygon on the screen. And we're going to set our polygon with 3 corners here to make it basically a triangle. We merely need to put the coordinates in. And there is our triangle. If you want something a little more organic, we can change it from a line to a spline. And should we want something that's filled in rather than just lines, we can change our background colour from the default to, say for example, a yellow-green. And there we have a spline on our screen. So with polygons, you have quite a bit of flexibility of what you can actually put on the screen. You merely have to change the number of coordinate points. We can also add extra symbols. Let's put this one down at the bottom chart. And there is a symbol now on the chart. You could quite easily create a custom graph showing statistically high and low values. We can now select circle, and we can place a circle anywhere on the control. And there is a plain circle. You can do more than just an ordinary circle though. We can change the style from circle flat to bullet, and this gives us a round, graphically filled in gradient fill. And of course, you can change the size of that very easily. And again, as before, you can amend the transparency value. So with 30 of these custom objects, you can do quite a bit of customization on your application. We can change the style of our text to be gradient, about 3D with shadow. Now, having generated all this in our RM Chart Designer, how do we get the code into our application? Well, let's first of all save this, and if we go up to File and Get Source, this copies all the source to generate all this, including our custom objects, onto the clipboard. And we can now go back into Power Basic. We will create a new form and paste it in. If we then go to the routine that actually draws the chart, the Do the Chart subroutine, and then if we search for the word custom, you will find all the custom objects at the very end of that subroutine. The one for the text, the one for the image, and the one for the polygons. And we can quite easily take all of this and copy it into our own application. So if we go to the Do the Chart subroutine, we'll go down to the end of this, and we will just paste in that piece of code. Having pasted that code in, there is one additional change we will have to make. There are two arrays which have been set up to handle the polygons. We just need to dimension those, and we should be good to go. If we try running the application now, we'll see our code has actually worked. We have the polygon at the top left-hand corner, we have the text on the screen, and we have the image displaying in the middle with our circle gradient filled. Since the commands to display these custom objects are calling embedded functions within the RM Chart DLL, you can of course use this code anywhere in your application. You could dynamically place any of these custom objects anywhere on the control at any point during the application's run. Hopefully you'll find this code useful in your dashboards. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching.